guys, Blue Kool-Aid here. I'm going to give you an update here on what's going on. Got a couple other things I'm going to show you too real quick, but just as expected, we're seeing some effects from these CMEs, and again, they're small effects, nothing real huge. First thing I'm going to point out here, guys, you guys know how I talk about this stuff that happens behind the Earth here in our magnetosphere. The weird signatures and stuff we see. The first thing I look for, at least, normally that's what I first look for, is what is causing that. Basically, which direction is that coming from? The real question is, did it come from the sun, or did it come from a different object? Because obviously, if it's coming from a different object, then, a whole nother question needs raised. But I can tell you and I can show you what I mean by that really easy right now, because we know that we're getting effects from the sun. So, and this is actually kind of proving it. Now, what you're going to see this out here in the front. You're going to see it change color, and you might even see like waves of color. In other words, you'll see small vertical sections about this big start off the screen, come onto the screen, and rotate through. And usually it turns like orange. I'm not sure if it's doing that right now, but that's typically what we see when we see a bigger shot of energy coming at us. So here we go. Okay, something else I'm going to point out here too. You see this? If you see it go from that to that in like 1 or 2 frames, you got to look at your timestamp. Okay, because most likely it's probably missed some data and it jumped like an hour. And I think that's exactly what's going on here. If we look at the timestamp, what you want to look at, guys, is right here. See, it says 1700 hours. What's this? Oops. Okay. I bet we can see it jump here. Let's yeah, we did watch 1705, 1713, and went from 1717 to 1743. Okay, so that's the jump that we've seen. All right, what does that jump look like? I'll show you again real quick. Boom. Okay, so that's like over a half hour, or right at a half hour. That is a considerable amount of time when you're talking about these tools, because they can change very, very quickly. But anyway, see how that changed? Everything out front changed. So, now, again, what the next question is, where's that change coming from? Well, another telltale sign, guys, is, and this is something I've learned on my own. Nobody really told me this, but the interplanetary magnetic field lines, these blue lines that are supposed to be vertical like this, and they hardly ever are anymore. Those are our connection to the sun and other celestial objects. Now, you can even watch these, and they will, like the ones out in front, they'll start to break right in the middle. And you can see them break all the way down in like a motion, like somebody standing on a ladder, and the top rung will break, and then you fall all the way to the bottom, kind of like in a cartoon. But watch, you can see that happening here too. See, watch see how it shoot back? You see that? See how they're all kind of hanging down, and all of a sudden, you can see that wave of energy just go right through the chart, right through the graph like that. Okay, so when you see that, even though we didn't see something, any big changes in color right here, we did see a change in the magnetic field line. Okay, so we can still conclude that that's energy coming from that right direction. Now, here's the wave stuff. I haven't even looked at this, but I just kind of assumed this is what was going to happen. Let me zoom in so you guys can see better. You can see it starting to get a little orange. Okay, and I'll back up a little bit so we can get a more accurate depiction of this. Okay, see how it's all yellow? Watch the orange come in. See that? And it went through as a wave. And when it hits our bow shock, you see the red arc. It compresses and bounces around a little bit. You guys see that? Okay. So this is telltale sign that we're getting energy from the sun. That's more than normal, number one, because it's hitting us, harder than just normal winds. And again, okay, this is all expected. All right. Now, I know we've talked about these little, I call them curly cues or spirals or whatever you want to call them. Those little things right there. Okay, these. Now these are perfectly normal sometimes when we get stuff from the front. When we look at this and we see these things happening without anything from the front, we have to pay attention to that because that means it's coming from somewhere else. And a lot of us kind of think there might be an object hanging out down here somewhere. All right, because a lot of times we'll see these lines kind of push that direction. Even the colors in this graph will kind of even almost make a change up that direction. So, also, most likely there's been an object back here for a very long time. Because sometimes we'll just get, and I'll show that on this other graph. Sometimes we'll get these directional arrows, even way back here on the back, facing that way, telling you got winds going towards the earth from behind. Now, some of that can be normal too, but what I'm talking about normal is the winds would do this. Okay, you get solar winds from the front, and it would go out here, and normally about right there, it would curl back around. Okay, same thing here. Curl back around. We see that a lot, and you're actually seeing that right here. If you look at the arrows, it's exactly what's going on right here. So we can get backside pressure from the sun. All right, this is what's causing that. It's kind of like a rebound effect type of situation there. Now, again, nothing to worry about. Okay, this is nothing to freak out about, and that's why I want everybody to understand. Okay. Now, again, another thing I'm going to say, if we see wind direction going that way right here, then if, we can look backwards here, and if they're all facing this direction all the way to the back, then we know that that's probably not coming from the sun. It's got to be coming from something back here. Because the energy from the sun isn't going to go here and then make it all the way back here before it decides to come back this direction. All right, if it makes it this far, it's just going to keep on going. Okay. So if we ever see, we do see arrows every once in a while with energy, facing us way back here. Sorry about that, guys. Way back in here, okay? We see that. So, but anyway, let me toggle through here for you. Well, I'm not going to toggle through this one. I'm just going to let you guys see it here. This is just the latest imaging. And you see it. It's bouncing around. I will say this, though. We are still seeing this little faded area right here. Always. Even when we're not getting any kind of event. So, but there's that. Now, to stay with this conversation, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a video I showed you yesterday. And it's a short one, okay? It would happen to be this one. Okay, this is the CME tracker, guys. Now, this is the one that detects the CMEs. This yellow dot is Earth. Okay? Now, after the first CME, remember I told you that I went over here and looked at this tool after they updated it, and it showed a CME coming off the sun, heading towards the Earth, hitting the Earth, and then going on out. Well, they took that off of there, and the only one they were showing was the one that came off the backside of the Earth. I thought that was really fishy and really funny, and I didn't record it. That's what made me mad. I should have recorded. I usually record stuff like that. But I was able to go start checking out some other people's video, and I knew that Ben over at Suspicious Observer, he reports on this every day. You know, you report space weather every day. And I know that he looks at this particular tool sometimes. Well, I got lucky, guys, and he did. So, anyway, here's this. Okay, you guys see the CME here in the back. Watch. See it? Let's play that again. Okay. There's the CME right there. Okay. That's that small one that popped off the back. That's the one that was not going to affect Earth. Now, I went over to Ben's channel, and where he had recorded this, this was part of his video. All this is a small section of what he posted. Now, again, here's the Earth. Here's the sun. Watch what happens. This is a really short one, okay? It's like 3 seconds long. Actually, I may just do this and pause it. Okay. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Okay. Now, what I want you guys to look at, obviously, is on this side, right in here, right in this area. Okay. You're going to see it. It's going to pop off, and it's going to hit Earth directly. Okay. Oops. Okay, see it? And right there is where it hits the Earth. Now you can see that in multiple different views here. You can see it on all views right here. Okay? I'm not sure if I can... Nope, ain't gonna let me zoom in. So if you look right here, you guys can see on all three of those that CME's there. Now, if you look at the date, it says the 12th, right? And if you go back to the 11th on this tool, okay, it's right there. Right here, right where it's at right now. Okay, it's just now starting to affect us. So this was an accurate depiction. Now, why the heck did they decide to take it off there and make it look like this? Because this is just really fishy to me. That's all. Here's the 12th. This is the 12th, right? This is what the model shows currently. There's nothing there. Why not? But yet this little one in the back is there. It's not affecting Earth. Okay, this is the stuff that really makes us all question. I mean, this is not... Yeah. Honestly, I didn't expect anything like that. Because this, number one, this CME was not that big. Okay? So, anyway, with that being said, guys, I just want to give you an update on that. And I ran into something on HI1. Okay? I've never seen this before. Okay, I watch this all the time, guys. I think you guys know that. This was from the 9th. This particular capture happened right after, about a few hours after one of the CMEs happened. So, you know, I'm trying to figure out here, guys, if the energy just reached the satellite, which I don't think it did because it had to travel way bigger distances. But the light, I guess the light itself could cause some issues, maybe. Probably not, but anyway, I believe that energy probably allowed us to see what we're seeing here. Now, why is this significant? Well, if you look at this, it almost looks like spider webs. Or like a big web of electrical connection. Okay? There's a theory out there now that, obviously that the universe is basically electric. And they kind of think that this is how everything would look if we were able to see all of it. Okay? Now, what made me think of this? Okay? Well, here's the reverse of that. Obviously, it shows it probably just a little bit better. But you can tell that it almost looks like little neural pathways of your brain kind of, circling around trying to figure stuff out, right? Is it possible that the universe has been designed in such a way that everything really kind of resembles everything else, even down to the molecular level? I don't know. It's just a theory people need to keep in consideration because it would help us figure out a whole lot of different things. But for what we're researching here, I mean, this was really strange to me. I've never seen this before. I've showed you lines and things like that before on this channel, but normally it's like they're all facing the same direction. They're usually a lot thicker than this, and they're usually not in such a haphazard direction. Okay? So, you take that for what it's worth. Now, what made me think of this? Well, Dr. Albers did a paper. I think it's her paper 651, her article. It was last week sometime, I believe. It was about the electrical universe. Okay, I'll leave a link to that video. You guys should go check it out. But here is the thumbnail she used. You know what I mean? It's funny how things fall into place sometimes. I just don't, yeah. It's hard for me to think that that's a coincidence that she actually chose to use this picture, and then a week later, I see this on HI1, and then my memory is horrible to begin with for me to remember that picture was there. Anyway, yeah, I'm just saying. I don't know if that was meant to happen or if it was just what it is, but there are sometimes there's just coincidences, guys. But that one there, I have to question whether or not that's a true coincidence because, man. But anyway, guys, stay safe. I'll give you some more updates on what's going on with the CME stuff and all that. But it is what it is, guys. Stay safe. Yeshua saves, and you can drink this Kool-Aid.